So I finally got my laptop and everything working. When I was travelling, my mic sort of packed up, so I've been waiting to try and fix that. This was filmed on the 11th, but I'm recording it today on the 13th and editing it now that I'm back home. I flew back yesterday and getting back to life as normal now. So just a little bit of a summary of what I've done over the last sort of 3 weeks, I guess. I've got, just mentioning it again, but I don't know what I got sick with, but I got sick with something. Could have been COVID, could have been something else. So after about 4 or 5 days, I took a test, COVID test, and like I wasn't going outside or anything. So after about 4 days, I took a COVID test and it was negative, and I took a test every day for about 3 or 4 more days, and they were all negative. So I don't know what I had, or if it's just continued, feeling terrible from my booster shot, which was now a month ago. But I don't know what happened. So I just did pretty much body weight and stretching for a whole 2 weeks. I did not get to a gym. I barely ran. Every time I ran, I felt like it put me back instead of push me forward. I felt like the cardio just ripped through me. My lungs were on fire. My heart felt like it was struggling, so I sort of stayed away from it for a while. And then a couple of days, or maybe a day before I flew to Tassie, I started feeling a little bit better. I obviously got down to Tassie, found a hotel with a nice gym, so I got to work out in the hotel gym. And then, so that was one day. The next day I did a cheeky little run, I think about a 6.4k run in the morning, sort of along the, mid east coast of Tasmania. We were lining up to then, the next day go to Maria Island and do a 40 kilometre bike tour, which was absolutely fantastic, and I did not need to do anything else on top of that. My quads, my glutes, hammies, calves, still sore. And look, I went on a run today on the 13th and still feeling it, like my calves could not handle anything. And it was a beautiful tour. It's a secluded island. It's a nature reserve, so we saw a lot of wildlife, a lot of hills, all on gravel track, and then we did about 6 or 7 k's on pure sand track. So if you've ever tried to ride a mountain bike on sand, you'll understand my feeling in that it sucks. It sucks so much. But when we got about 20 k's into our destination, we got to this beautiful secluded beach, and because we had pushed that few k's through sand, no one else doing those bike tours went up there, and they all sort of went a few k's in and turned back around, and we were up on this beautiful secluded cove with nobody else around. The water was crystal clear. The only thing you could hear was the wind and the crashing of the waves. There was no people, no nothing, no human noise, and it was beautiful. And I have to tell you, man, that sound of when you're completely in the middle of nowhere and there's no people around for kilometers, it's just so calming. I felt not an overwhelming sense of calmness, but I just felt a deep sense of calmness and relaxation, to a point where I was just feeling fantastic, man. I think all whatever stress or whatever I was worrying about at the time, or whatever was going through my head, just seemed to melt away. And that sort of, it's not complete silence, but with the sounds of the bush and the sounds of the ocean and things like that, so it's truly beautiful. So 20 k's there, 20 k's back, 7 k's in total across the sand, the rest up and down hills on a gravel road. 40k round trip, and smashed the legs, did really good for the cardio. And got a really sore ass from riding a bike that long. Followed by sort of the next day after that, which is me here. So the day after the bike ride, I went back to Hobart and I flew back up to Brizzy. So this is sort of. Oh, no. This is the day after. So the day I got back to Brizzy, I just flew in. I got in about midday. I ran, I hit the treadmill. I did about 4.6 Ks on the treadmill. And then I called it a day, and I just did some stretching up in my room because I just got so tight from sitting in a plane seat. Again, this was the day after, on the 11th, where I just decided to use what equipment there was in the gym and just do a bit of upper body work and a bit of chest work. Because I've been lacking in weights, I did 2 solid weight sessions when I was, on holiday and when I was feeling well, and I hadn't felt well enough to even consider doing weights. I just felt, fatigued and weak. But I don't know, maybe it was that bike trip, or maybe just going to Tassie, fresh air, whatever it was, man. But I felt really energized after going to Tassie, so I decided, look, I'll hit this hotel gym in Brizzy. I only stayed in Brizzy for a couple of nights, caught up with some friends there, and then just flew back home. And yeah, basically just did four exercises, just your little bench machine, and then incline and flat bench with dumbbells, and then just some shrugs at the end to finish off that workout. But pretty much, it's as good as you can get in a hotel gym. You can't do anything fancy, but yeah, as long as you got dumbbells, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 kilos, I think was what I was working with that day. Felt fantastic, just to get everything moving and to feel the pump again, but I definitely noticed I was feeling weak, even though I was doing a lot of push-ups with my body weight. I feel like my muscular endurance for my chest, probably my triceps as well, is really good, but it took me a while just to get my central nervous system warming up to lifting weight again. I was lifting, I think I started with 12 kilos or something like that, and it started to feel heavy, so it took me a while to warm into that there. But feeling good for the moment. As it's the 13th today when I'm recording this, I haven't actually been to the gym yet. I'll do that tomorrow. Sort of just been having things to do around the house and stuff like that, so it's been kettlebell workouts and running, which has pretty much been it. But look, all in all, good trip. Very happy I went. Just a shame about getting sick and feeling terrible, and missing out on some sort of quality exercise. I was still sort of exhausting myself when I was sick. But when you're sick and you look at yourself exercising when you're sick, you go, nah, you can't be exhausted doing that, mate. It just you just done a couple sets of push-ups and you're telling me you're knackered, but man, I don't know what happens there. Your body's just overwhelmed, and that is all you can muster. So I was happy I was able to keep that promise of at least doing something every single day. I was happy in that regard, but as to the quality of it, now that I'm feeling better, I'm a little bit annoyed at that. But I know at the time I was feeling terrible. But look, that's it for this one. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.